This is Dabu 7, and huge moves are about to be made in concerns to Israel and the Holy Land. And this is all in regards to the actions of the new Jesuit Pope Francis. They have now released this new schedule that dictates where he will be through the 24th through the 26th. Starting off in Jordan, he will make his rounds, then he will go to Palestine, he will finish up in Israel. Now, this event is said to be a huge event because even the people involved are stating that it needs to stop. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are confused out here on what is taking place in Israel. I try to always put it in terms like this. It's just like Obama. Obama is no more a Christian than Netanyahu is a Jew. Believe that. There's something more to it. Once you realize this, you realize that this is a big game. It's a play on the people. Now, what has taken place here is the Vatican is stating that they are going to Israel, and they've been buying chunks of Israel for quite some time. But they're going there here on the 24th, 25th, and they're going to be given Mount Zion and the Hall of the Last Supper, which also on the same floor there, that same level, is the tomb of King David. They're also going to receive the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And they're stating they're going to give the Muslims the Temple Mount, or the Dome on the Rock, and leave the Jews the Wailing Wall. And the Jews are like, what is going on? Are you kidding me? They're screaming at their rabbis, and this is where people are confused. This is what I've been trying to tell you all along. The everyday Jew in the street is seeing this as an atrocity because they're seeing the Holy Land as being divided. And the government's doing it. So when you hear me lashing out at Benjamin Netanyahu, no, it's not me attacking Israel by no means. It's the evil government that's there. And that's the reason Yeshua the Messiah said there will not be one stone left unturned before he returns, because this place will be destroyed. He said it. That's the word, if you believe. So here you have Jesuit Pope Francis coming onto the scene, making a move here to divide this region. You can see the Dome of the Rock, the Temple Mount, the new wall, Mount Zion, all of this here. Now, for those of you that don't believe it, there's always a battle over this, and that's what they've created. Look at this wall, this doorway, this archway. Perfect representation of what's taken place. And here's the tomb of King David. And I'll leave a link so you guys can check out all these photos. Look at that. You see all those holes? Those are bullet holes from fighting. And it's been that way because of why? Because the powers that be have divided the people and made it be so. So now the so-called peace is going to come. And it's going to be what you could call a false peace, because it's not going to last. It needs to be fair. And the feeding of the beast is just beginning. You see, as he makes his move here, the Jews in the community of Israel are realizing what has taken place, and they are not happy. Okay? And what I mean by that is I'm about to show you is I'm going to let you see for yourself what the everyday Jew, the norm, not a Zionist Jew, that's the difference. That's the confusion. This is where people get confused. People want to come on and say, why are you always blaming the Jew? It's not. I'm not blaming. Some people are like, a Jew's a Jew. No, there is a difference, because these Zionists have came in and masqueraded themselves under Judaism for one goal, and that's to steal Mount Zion. And it's exactly what's about to take place. And some people can't see, well, the Vatican and the Nazi history, how could they be connected here with the Jews in this? Because it's all a setup and a play on the people. Period. And for all this time, they've had everyone fighting and killing each other, not looking at the real enemy. And it's being exposed right before our very eyes. And what I mean by that is you can come right here to the Israeli national news, okay? And young Jewish people that live there are screaming out that their government, this is what I want you to pay attention to, their government is planning to split up and sell off Israel's ancient sites, putting a price tag on it. And they're saying that the rabbis are remaining silent. This is what one of the rabbis is saying, Ariel. They're calling this the terrible plan. It's called the Holy Basin, and it's a plan to split Jerusalem between Christians, Muslims, and Jews. And it's a three-stage process which has already began, as Israel's already been selling property rights to the Vatican behind the scenes for quite some time. Now, the everyday Jew is ticked off. This is what you guys need to understand, because all they're going to be left is the Wailing Wall, and they have to do so underneath the Palestinian Authority, which sees that as a sin and filth. So how do you think that's going to go down? The real true Jews here are getting stripped of what they are here for in this region, but who's getting away with everything? The Zionists. And they're handing it over to who? The Jesuits. The Vatican. You got that right. So, as soon as all of these rumors started to spread throughout the months, here in February, because that last article was January, February, you see here that it goes on to state that Pope Francis is expected to visit Israel and lead a service in the Hall of the Last Supper. And that is the same building that houses the tomb of King David, a holy site which is frequently visited by Jews. Okay, so if they're going to give that to all of Christianity, they're taking that away from the Jews as well. Do you see what's happening here? And you want to yell at me for attacking Benjamin Netanyahu? He is selling the land out from underneath the real Jews that are there. Do you see? I've been telling you this whole time. He is evil. He is deception, just like Obama. They are in bed together behind the scenes. This is a world stage, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the awakening. Now, what has happened? They've screamed so loud, they've demanded an answer. It ruffled their feathers. Here's another person writing about the situation here in February, stating that it will remain in the hands of Israel. Why? Because they were outraged. They're like, why are you handing over all of our stuff, Mount Zion, to the Vatican in this hall of the Last Supper, which is close to the King David's tomb? Well, this is what happened. Benjamin Netanyahu came out and lied to the masses and said, check it out. I'm affirming that Israel will not, despite reports, give away Mount Zion, including King David's tomb, to the Vatican. This is what he tells his people in the world. All publications claiming that Israel was considering giving away all or part of Mount Zion to the Catholic Church are not true, and they are fundamental lies, the PMO stated. The Israeli government does not have and has never had any intention of doing so. Do you see that? This is just a couple months back. But guess what? The rabbis seen it. The real Jewish people seen it, not the Zionist Jews. That's the difference you need to understand from here on out. Busted. May 1st. Different person writes, Netanyahu asks the rabbi to allow giving the tomb to the Vatican. Do you see this? And they go on to state, I'll leave links for all this. You guys can read all of this and hear it from the horse's mouth, that they have been infiltrated. And what they've done is they state that they're handing over all the power on this decision to the prime minister. And guess who that is? Benjamin Netanyahu. The people are outraged. Some Christians could say, well, this is good. We're getting Mount Zion. You ain't getting anything. The Zionists are getting it. And I'm telling you now, they're not going to let that dome of the rock sit there for long. They're going to have plans for it. They have big plans for this whole area, and this is the beginning, and this is what I wanted to share with you. It's going to take place, and he can lie to the world, to his people, but this is what is going on behind the scenes, and his own citizens in here are lashing out. It's kind of like you've got all the Jews inside of this area called Israel, and this is supposed to be the Holy Land, and now you're selling it and dividing it up. No one else is doing this. Obama and America didn't have to come over and create this sin, this apocalyptic scene. Israel is doing it itself, infiltrated from within. Infiltrated from within. That is what has happened here throughout history. Now, hopefully, and I know many of my subscribers are already awakened to this, but hopefully the new people to my channel can see this. This is the truth. This is real. This is what is taking place. So when I say that Mossad and the CIA are in on all these things, Flight 370, 9/11, the whole nine, start to do your research here, and you will see they're all taking their orders from the Jesuit command from the top. And here they are about to hand the Holy Land, Mount Zion, over to the Jesuit command. For real. So eyes open. As I get more information, I'll keep you guys updated. This has been Nwo 7. Much love. Eyes open.